Hello, and thank you for joining me for our next guided project. This is one to support our data analyst program. And we're going to go, I'm from Ukraine, my family's from Ukraine, and so I thought it would be interesting to do kind of what's going on in the war right now. I think one of the things is always that data science really has unlocked for me is that I don't have to just be happy with what the news says. The news is other people's studies and investigations and lots of bias put into it. I really love data science because it allows me to find my own answers. And so with this as well, studying kind of what's going on in the war allows me to find my own answers. How is the war actually going? I mean, I want Ukraine to win. Uh, Being from my family, being from Ukraine, I obviously want them to win, but what is actually going on? And that's something that unfortunately the best news article only tells us what we want to hear. We hear that Putin's evil and a terrible person. Well, how is it actually going? So here we're going to explore it today a little bit and see how the war was actually was going up until June 24th. Okay. So mounting my drive, as you saw while I was talking, loading our libraries, pandas, numpy, seaborn, matplotlib, and then going to turn off the warning states. We'll get a lot of extra warnings. Not fun, kind of messes up the investigation. So we'll start. There's two data sets today. You can follow it to find the actual data sets, but there's one data set for equipment and one data set for personnel. So we'll need to download two data sets. So first we're gonna put those together and then we're gonna merge them. So pd.read csv, and then we'll put in our file path right here. And where I got this from, now that I mounted my drive, you can go in, you go my drive, and go all the way down to your file path, and you'll right click these three right dots and go copy path. And then you can just put it inside a string, inside quotation marks, in right here. So go to that, and that's what we'll load the one. We'll load this other one. So pd.read csv to load up those two files. So I'll run that. And we'll see here, we take a look at one of them. Okay, so we're looking at the equipment file. So how would we take a peek at the first few rows? We'll go dot head and then run this. So dot head. Get a nice little intro peek at our data set. And this is really important because it starts to let us know if there are issues. Here we can see there's lots of null values. We're not building a machine learning model today, but this would obviously be very valuable in our analysis when there are null values. Is important, can be as important as when there are values. So here there would be head of the personnel file. So just giving us the dot head of personnel. So we can see the personnel lost, prisoners of war, and so on, and going through that. So now, really, I didn't really want two data sets to work with the whole time. It's easier if everything's kind of in the same place. So what we're going to do here, we're going to go df.e.merge, and we'll merge this with df underscore p. So we're matching the equipment data frame with the merge data frame. We're going to go, because there are some values, there are some missing values. We want to go how equals outer. So it brings in all values, including the ones that would result in null values, which is what we want for our data set. And how we want to merge this. So if we look up here, we want to merge on the date. That's how we're kind of grouping things by the day things happen. And so dates, and we have a date column in both of them. So we'll merge on the dates. So here we want to go how outer on dates. Let's run that. And let's take a look here. Let's just create a new cell. So we go df.head, take a peek at this new cell here. We can see we have day, which is going to be duplicated in all of them. We won't use that one. But day from the original or from the left data frame, and then it's kind of blended in here, but day from the right data frame as well from the Y. And you can see here where the personnel data frame got connected right here. The four last columns got basically added on, merged on the dates. Okay. So what we're going to do here is, now that we have the date in a column, we're going to extract out the month and the day of the week. So the way we would do this is pandas has the answer. So we'll go pandas.dates time index. So the date and index are capitalized, And so date time index, capital D, date time, capital I index. And then what we want to do is we want to give it the series that we want to do. So we want to do this is just the date column. And so we want to extract though from this the attribute of month. So attribute of month. And just to be a professional coder, we're going to copy and paste this down into the line down below. And what we're going to do is instead of day of the, or sorry, month, we're going to do dot day of week. So there we go. And if we wanted to take a little peek at that, so we go df month and take a look at that. And you can see we get zeros and zeros to sixes, but zeros to 12. So basically a number representing each month of the year. And so this war, it started in March, so that would be the third month. So 0, 1, 2, which would make sense. Okay. Now we want to set it to the index. So when we're doing plotting and we're working with pandas, pandas really relies a lot on the what's the index value, and because date's kind of what we're concerned about in our overall workflow, we're going to set the index to date. So if we go df.set underscore index, and we'll go to the column we want to set the index to date, and then we're going to go in place equals true. And then let's take a little peek at that. Okay, perfect. That's awesome. Did a great job. And you can see here now we have our date set up as the index.